everybody, and welcome back to the Broadway Jets YouTube channel. You'll know me from Twitter as NYJ Mike. I'm joined as always by the master of receipts. It's NYJ Matt. And Matt, the Jets have dropped back-to-back games against winnable AFC opponents. They fall to 4-5. They're in 13th place in the AFC. Things are grim. They're bleak. The season is not yet over, but it's heading that way quick.
Yeah, life support. If you would have beaten the Chargers and Raiders instead of the Giants and Eagles, things change drastically in the playoff picture. Two teams that if you are able to string together a few wins, you will be in the same spot. So, Mike, where do you want to start on the game? Obviously, Jets Twitter again after the game, up in arms about Zach Wilson, up in arms about the coaching staff. Bottom line is you have to win games in the NFL, and the Jets don't win.
Yeah, and there's so much. A couple of things come to mind at first. So the Jets are obviously playing a style of football right now where there's very limited offense and things have to go. There's a small margin for error. So of course the penalties are tough. I thought the refs were fine in that game. The Uzama penalty on the touchdown, that was kind of ticky-tack. Probably held him. It's a scrum, Max Crosby's a giant dude. That one hurt. The margin of error, like Zach Wilson steps out of bounds by a fucking millimeter. Tough. Josh Jacobs fumbles, it flies out of bounds. Mekhi Becton did recover a fumble for the Jets, so there's that. Just, Allen Lazard's open, but the Jets try to make Garrett Wilson, who broke his right elbow, throw a pass to him, which is hilarious, but what the fuck? There's just, and then, Wilson missed Lazard kind of deep.
Yep.
I thought the interception at the end was, I thought Zach played a pretty good game. I know you thought that too and got murdered on Twitter.
I'll put into context here. This has not been a pro Zach Wilson YouTube channel podcast. Mike and I wanted to keep Sam Darnold. We aren't the biggest Zach Wilson fans. Yeah. And for me, I wanted to get a different QB2 in the summer. I wanted to get a new quarterback the moment Rodgers went down. I'm not a Zach Wilson guy. If you are, perfectly fine. He's your guy. I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. With that said, he is the main reason the Jets offense has been poor this year. He is the field general. He is the quarterback. Last night was not the reason that the Jets lost the game. You cannot put that on Zach Wilson. I think he played a good game up until the interception, which I tweeted.
To your point, Matt, dude's like, 23 for 38 with 260 yards. These are normal and real yards.
But
no garbage time.
Jet fans need to either put on their big boy pants and say, I'm able to isolate one game. If you don't, I'm not saying Zach Wilson's a good quarterback. I'm saying tonight he played good. And, he played good until the pick. The pick killed the drive. And then he's obviously part to blame in that game for the offense not scoring a touchdown. He's the main reason to blame for they're not playing well the entire year. But for people to freak out over saying he played a good game, they have tunnel vision and they're like, I have to blindly hate this dude. I pay for these tickets. I'm mad. We used to be like that, Mike. We've grown up to say this fucking sucks. I'm sick to my stomach. I'm not going to take it out and freak out on every little thing. Zach Wilson played fine. Did he play great or amazing? No, he played good. And the Jets didn't get it done because of penalties, drop passes, curious play calling from the second quarter to the third quarter, almost until the end of the game. And yet Zach didn't make the play when he needed to. So, Mike, I think Jet fans are overreacting in that game itself. But if you're telling me, Matt, Zach Wilson fucking sucks, I don't want to be the quarterback, no qualms on my end.
We said the same thing. We literally said, but these people are the same. They see all your tweets. So I just don't get it. It's not
I was told that I lost credibility because I said that Zach Wilson played a good game tonight and have been calling for him not to be the quarterback for a year now, which is fine.
You should also love credibility for things like that, where you go against your own narrative, quote unquote narrative. Like if we were disingenuous, we would push a narrative that we hate, blah, blah, blah. We don't like Zach Wilson, and then use every bit of factual information to support that. But no, we're honest and we say, listen, we don't like Zach Wilson. I'm furious at Joe Douglas for not bringing a guy after week 1 when Rodgers got hurt, which
Yep.
was always the take. And now it's too late and they didn't do anything. So we're going to hopefully win with this guy and hopefully Rodgers will come back. And in that span, he played a solid game last night and it didn't work out. And then you get murdered, which is tough.
But I'll take that because I want to be that source for people to let out their frustration, be mad,
Yeah.
perfectly fine. My
Yeah.
favorite is Real Rock 3T 7601. All you do is make fucking excuses. You are part of the fucking problem, which I'm gonna pin it because it's my favorite tweet ever, as if I'm actually making the plays in the field. But again, Mike, the penalties are killers, the drops are killers. Zach Wilson uses legs in big moments in that game. I felt like he did enough where we could have scored 20 points given the stepping out of bounds of the one.
Well, Matt, they basically did it. They did basically score 20 points. Like they scored a touchdown. He stepped out by a hair. Like you saw them score, and they put
Twice.
the touchdown thing. We're like, oh, and then they scored again. So that's 13 points, right? You kick a field goal later, and the Jets would have had a chance to kick a field goal on the last drive or whatever. Like they would have scored 19 or 20 points if that touchdown stands. So they did do it. They can do it. You can score 20 points. It's not like the fact that we're like, oh my god, they're scoring 20 points is obviously part of the problem too, and that's the point overall. But yeah, the dude played well enough to win this football game.
He needs to hit Lazard on the throw, right? That throw he had to Lazard was a makeable play. And then obviously the Garrett Wilson throw to Lazard is a touchdown in that drive. And also, Mike, Garrett Wilson, gutsy dude, makes plays over the middle, fights through it. A drop on a big play across the middle, and that end zone play, which is a tough catch to make.
Beautiful throw.
Not on the Hail Mary, the one well before that.
On the left pylon, yeah.
And that's where I'm saying, like, I don't like Zach Wilson. But I'm looking at the game last night. I'm like, if other people stepped up, including his coaching staff, and Saleh we'll talk on that in a minute. The outcome of the game can be differently. Where if we win that game, we're saying that's a step forward for Zach to maybe get an AFC wildcard team, maybe. And the comments in the video are going to be, Zach sucks. We got to move off him. That's fine. We're not arguing.
But now what are you going to do? Pat Tim Boyle, and that's on Joe Douglas. That's why I'm more pissed off with Douglas. The Saleh stuff is frustrating. I'm more mad at Nathaniel Hackett than I am with Saleh. I think Hackett just is probably inept after what he did last year and now this year. You saw Rodgers shaking his head with some of the play calls is tough. That's his buddy too. I mean, and then the other thing that my gripe with Jets fans this week is that we spent, other than last year, 6 years in a row where we're not competitive come week 8 or 9. What are we, 1-7? We're 1-6. We're 2-8. We're 0-12. And you have these games still now, where you are 4-5, and you're playing 2 division rivals the next 2 weeks. And listen, before these last 2 games, after the Giants game, we said we play the Raiders, we play the Chargers, the Raiders, the Bills, and the Dolphins, and we need to be 2-2 in those games. And you still can do it. And I understand why people are dejected, and it's obviously not what you wanted to happen, but you lose 2 very close games. Well, the Chargers game was not very close, but you're in the game, and you have a chance, and you still have a chance to go 2-2 in those games. And look, we're 4-5. We would have killed to be 4-5 in some years. So just hopefully, I just am frustrated with people like the season's over, on to next year, blah, blah, blah. People have convictions about the defense. They love the defense. Like, you love certain players. Like, I'd rather just go out next week and be like, dude, Breece Hall's going to rush for 200 yards. We have Josh Allen's number. Fuck that team. Let's do it. And there's none of that. It's going to be just doom, 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 which it should be for now until Wednesday. And then hopefully the optimism picks back up a little bit.
No, Mike, it sucks. And Jet fans, they have a 3% chance now of making the playoffs. If you want to pull the plug and say the season's over, you're probably right in terms of like statistically making the playoffs. But to your point, look at 2012, how they started. Look at 2014, 2016, when did you get your 5th win? Right. Did you ever get one, or did it happen in late December? So I will take any year where I can win a game in November and be a 500 team.
It matters. This game really matters, especially the Bills lose tonight. We're recording this on Monday. Then you're tied with them if they lose, and you're ahead of them because you beat them head to head. You play them next week, and then look at 2009. The Jets were 4-6. They will go on to make the playoffs. 2004. I'm sorry, 2002. You're 1-4. You go on to make the playoffs. Stuff like that. So might as well enjoy the team, love the team, and then once it's over, you get pissed.
And again, Mike, the Jets are better than the Raiders. You can argue. I think we're better than the Chargers.
Yep.
We clearly didn't prove that. The Chargers gave up 1 billion points to Detroit at home, and it sucks that we can't score a goddamn touchdown against them. But we're better than the Raiders with Aiden O'Connell. We're better than them. They're an uninspiring offense. Everyone was hurt on defense in their secondary, and Max Crosby didn't blow up the game. And you don't win. And maybe you don't deserve to make the playoffs if you can't win that game. And they clearly just, Mike.
It's just a game of inches, though, Matt. Like, it just bothers me so much because Zach Wilson's foot is on the line by I don't even know what unit of measurement. Fuck the metric system and the Europeans, but I don't know why. But it's there. Like it's just so close, and you lost by a small margin. And if just like look at the Giants week, you somehow win that game, and it's positive vibes going to the next week. Play like shit. You played pretty good this week, and you lose by 3 to another team that's trying to win, and it just is like this is the worst team of all time. And the offense, I can't defend it. I cannot defend the offense. I won't sit here and defend the offense. But
Mike, the problem is they've outplayed one team. They outplayed the Broncos. They did not earn the week 1 win. Josh Allen was careless with the football. And if Jalen Hurts doesn't throw that ball and Josh Allen isn't careless and the Giants win a 99.9% probability, are they just really like a 1-7 team? I don't think so. I think a ball would bounce their way at some point.
Because you could win the Chiefs game. You could win this game.
I just want to beat a team and play better than them from wire to wire. And that was the Broncos game for the most part. They were still down in that game, but they ended up having a compelling win and played well. The Jets offense is historically bad on third down, historically bad in the red zone. Even if they can get to the red zone, which they barely in games can't even sniff the 20-yard line, it is on the quarterback. It's on an offensive line that it sucks that they keep getting injured. They played fine last night, but how many guys can you go through? So it's like, I want to blame the offensive line, but you're playing with scraps right now. The receivers don't get separation if you're not named Garrett Wilson, and they drop the ball. Tyler Conklin is a plus tight end. Uzomah just murders you every second, and then your play caller is ass. So there's no other way around it. Your offense is historically disgusting, and there's no positive momentum in sight outside of like off-scripted Zach plays where he played well last night in doing that.
Yeah. Look, it's just. And then it's every time there's a big play, and Zach said it too. It just gets taken back, and if that doesn't happen, who knows? But again, it's after a certain point where you go 37 straight drives without a touchdown, you could have had the touchdown at the end of the Charger game to Uzomah that he dropped. That would make the streak look less stupid, but who cares? Doesn't matter. And you could have had the touchdown last night. I mean, but Jesus Christ, like
it's not professional.
It's not professional. Yeah,
Mike,
and yeah.
Any other, like you watch any other NFL game, college game, arena football game, like guys are open and they score points. Like that physically is impossible for this team to do it.
There was a curl to Garrett Wilson yesterday where he was open, and I was like, shit. Like I was sick.
Was it like a 5-yard like?
I think it was like an out to the left, like I don't know, like a 12-yard pass. But yeah, it comes back to also, Zach in year 3. These are like some decent, like yesterday you said, could have been like a decent step forward if the Jets win, whatever. This is year 3. It's not a rookie quarterback. That's also part of the problem.
You had a great tweet, Mike. The Whitehead pick.
He's running around backwards. Didn't know where he was.
Got to credit again. Yeah. We'd be a disservice 14 minutes in not to call out how
defense is so good, dude.
The defense is.
But think about this: what if so the Jets lost? You lose Aaron Rodgers and you lose a big piece of your offensive line. You still could make a whole offensive line out of the offensive linemen that are not playing. Connor McGovern, Dwayne Brown, AVT, Schweitzer, all these dudes. Like it's insane. So you lose the nucleus of your offense. Like what if the Jets defense lost Quinnen, CJ Mosley, and 3 other guys? Like what do you do? Like you just probably suck. Obviously, the defense is starting at a better point than the offense, but it's frustrating. If Rodgers is just playing, you're probably fucking 7-2, and everything looks great. And if CJ Uzomah holds on a run, it's not the end of the world because then you could throw a first down at some point. But
Yeah,
you can't overcome anything.
you just you could always put the context of Rodgers around it. I had to like physically break it out of my brain and be like, yeah, Zach is the quarterback, and I didn't want him to be the quarterback, and that's fine. But on the
Did you lose the
defense, Mike,
credibility?
yeah, Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed,
It's
Michael
insane.
Carter second, again, unbelievable. Whitehead pick, Quincy and Mosley all over the field, and Sherwood too, all over the
It was
field,
good.
Mike.
And Matt, even when they let up a pass, like a 15, 16-yard pass or a touchdown, it's so contested and so hard. Someone gets smashed, their hands right there. Yeah, they're great. It's a waste.
Also,
They're wasting
like-
one of the best defenses in the history of the franchise.
when they have Jermaine and Huff outside and Quinnen and JFM inside, that one pass rush on like a huge third down that took them out of field goal range, unbelievable.
Can't be stopped.
Unbelievable. The four of them are insane.
Sick.
You got a big game tonight, though. I know you have to leave in a
I know I
minute.
look like Eminem because I'm about to go play basketball and I'm wearing a beanie.
If you're here, subscribe. If you're here, like the video. If you're here, comment. If you made it this far and we don't follow you, make sure to DM Mike and I. We'll make sure to follow you back.
Yeah.
We like answering all DMs possible, especially the ones that tell me I'm a Zach Wilson truther, even though I wanted to keep Sam Darnold, who's now a backup elsewhere.
I have one final message, Matt, before we go.
Cook.
You don't have to be the first guy to give up on the team. It's not cool. It's not fun to say, this sucks. The woe is me. In the moment, of course, you're sad and it's bullshit. And it sucks mostly because you want the rest of the games of the season to be important. And you want more good times and you want to watch more fun games. You don't have to be the first guy to say, fuck the Jets. The season's over. Because, like, there is a legitimate chance you could win the next two games. It just could happen. You already beat the Bills. Not that it's supposed to happen, blah, blah. I'll get killed for that. Then you look up your 6-5. Oh, I'm so excited, blah, blah, blah. Just, once it's over, if the Jets are 4-7, then I'll shut up. But why not try be excited about the game next week?
It's you've had too many horrible seasons not to come up and say, hey, if they get to 4-7, yeah, you can be, obviously it's at
Then
that
I'll
point.
be like, we're not mathematically eliminated yet.
It's just funny. I tweeted the season was on life support.
Yeah.
And someone's like, I hope you fucking die. This season's over.
Oh, that's good.
Like I try, I'm being like very pessimistic in the way that I can be. It's like, oh, we're on life support. It's like, I hope you fucking die.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be
all right.
We've beaten this team before. We played them well in Buffalo of
We
late.
have their number. We're better in Buffalo. We're a cold weather team.
2021 Buffalo game was like the worst game.
It's like 48-10 with Mike White.
The Keelan Cole in 2021.
Oh, dude, when we had like 54 yards of total offense and Keelan Cole had a 50-yard catch.
What was the 2020 game in Buffalo?
That might have been 2020. No,
2021. 2020 was Darnold hurt that week.
2020 is that the Dowell Loggins game?
Oh, it's week one. Week one.
That was not. It's hard to tell where it was.
It was week one, and then
there were no fans.
It was week one. The Crowder play,
27,
like a huge touchdown.
Yeah.
Bell had a big catch. I think
that was it. That's all that happened.
We had a late time run that got us like a 9-point game, like a meaningless touchdown run.
I think it was Josh Adams had a touchdown.
Josh.
Yeah. We're like, give it to Le'Veon, and then they cut Le'Veon Bell. We're like, the fuck.
What was 2019 in Buffalo? 2018 was the Darnold had awesome touchdown
with the cool white jerseys when he ran back. Elijah McGuire, had the game-winning touchdown.
That was 18. 19.
2019 is probably something horrible.
Oh, we won the final week of the year.
2019. Oh, we did. We won what? 13-6.
Meaningless win.
Yeah, week one they lost the horrific 16-0 to 17-16 game.
We're good at Buffalo.
We're good at Buffalo. Come on.
All right, Mike. Good luck at the game tonight, buddy.
Jet up, baby. We're fine. Let's go.